Welcome back to Daytime. Well, today we're going to find out a little bit more about a medical disorder called cystinosis. I really had no idea what this was all about, but our next guest certainly does, because his daughter, Gabby, was diagnosed in January of this year with cystinosis. And there's little Gabby right there. Is she not a beautiful little girl? And the proud father is here with us. Trevor Strauss joins us, who is Gabby's dad, and he's also one of the co-founders of CARE, which is also known as Cystinosis Awareness and Research Effort. It's great to have you in the show, Trevor.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for taking the time.
I have to tell you, I had no idea what cystinosis was all about until you brought it to our attention, and that's the reason for CARE. I guess many of us just have no idea what this disease is about.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that you haven't heard of it. There's only about 2,000 people in the world, mostly children, that are affected by the disease, even though that there is a 1 in 200 population from a carrier perspective. So 1 in 200 of us actually carry the gene. And when you break down the numbers even further, there's probably only about 50 children in Canada.
Wow.
So it's extremely rare. And we're the first organization to try and bring some awareness and raise some research funds in Canada.
So with cystinosis, what does it do? How does it affect your daughter?
So without getting too scientific,
that would help.
Yeah, so basically there's doors on our cells that allow different amino acids in and out. The door on my daughter's cell, the instructions for the cysteine door don't work. So the door won't open for the cysteine to go out of the cell. So what happens is it crystallizes in the cell and causes early cell death, thereby causing early organ death and on and on. So the kidney's the first organ damaged, and then it just continues to progress.
So in your case with Gabby then, she's so young, what were you noticing that sort of triggered you that there was something that wasn't quite right?
That's a great question. Our family doctor actually was the one who noticed that she wasn't walking yet. She was 10 months old. He wanted to send her for x-rays because he thought he noticed something about her hips being a little out of place. So those initial x-rays came back saying that she had osteoporosis, which for us was, how could that happen just at that stage? How can that happen? Yeah. We gave her vitamin D. We did, she was breastfed, just about everything normally. So we asked for a second opinion. And the second opinion came back saying everything was fine. And the only thing that happened, though, our family doctor didn't get it, a documentation in writing that everything was fine. So we went to Sick Kids. They actually said, yes, she does have rickets or osteoporosis. So we were actually in the process of going to the bone health clinic at Sick Kids. And then it was the blood work for that clinic that came back, and we got a call from our family doctor on December 19th saying, looks like Gabby has a serious kidney problem. So we drove down to Sick Kids the next day, sat in Emerge for 14 hours, sat there the day after until they actually diagnosed that it was something called Fanconi syndrome first.
Well, it's amazing, and doctors are trained to, when you hear hoofbeats, you think horses, not zebras. So they're not looking for a disease that affects 2,000 people. They're looking for something a little more run-of-the-mill.
Yeah, and if we take her into Emerge when she gets sick because she gets dehydrated fast, but they don't know, so they have to make calls down to the fellows on staff at Sick Kids.
So you're actually very lucky they found out what it was.
Absolutely. There's children in the States that have went up to being 4 years of age and nausea and vomiting and all sorts of not great things happening to them.
Well, and that's part of the reason for setting up CARE, because this really is one of those diseases that because people don't talk about it, doesn't happen all that often. They don't know. People don't know about it. So there needs to be kind of a network, and you decided that, I guess it has to be us. We need to start setting up this network in this program to start getting information out there. And once you get the information out there, then we can do the really important thing, which is fundraise to get research dollars into this.
Exactly. I mean, it costs about $1.3 billion to bring a drug to market for a pharma company when there's only 2,000 people in the world that this affects. They're not really looking for a cure for that, so we have to do it from a grassroots perspective.
Well, and in your daughter's case, you call it a medical cocktail that she has to have. This happens every 6 hours, day and night for her.
So my wife and I are up midnight, 6, 12, 6, around the clock. She gets 3 to 4 different syringes at each one of those times.
Well, it doesn't seem to affect her mood any. She looks just adorable.
Well, and I think that's part of the challenge, it's a pro and con, because for me, I look at her every day and she looks happy and healthy, which is awesome. It's when you start thinking about the other stuff that's going on when you're giving her meds at midnight. And
Well, she seems to be taking her own meds here.
She's starting to learn that she gets it so often that she thinks it's normal. And I mean, we have a lot of explaining to do once she goes to school and all of those sorts of things.
But which for her it is normal. And
Exactly.
and it's good that she's not going to have a stigma about it.
No. Yeah, good point.
What is the prognosis? Like, what is the...
So the median age is 9 years old. There are people who have lived to 40 years of age, but typically there's a kidney transplant within the first decade of life.
Wow.
Wow. Well, one of the things we want to let people know is that coming up on June 27th, they're having a launch for this new organization known as CARE, Cystinosis Awareness and Research Effort, in Uptown Waterloo.
That's right. We have a fabulous Uptown Waterloo Square now, and the city has offered it to us to launch CARE and to launch the Cystinosis and Awareness Research Effort in Canada. So, first organization of its type in Canada. Come on out. We're going to have a family fun day, basically. You know, everything there for kids. Giant sandbox, bouncy castles.
Yeah, bring your skateboards, because... No, I'm kidding. Don't bring your skateboards.
I was there the other night.
Yes,
You know what? It's going to be a terrific day. And this is one way that people can come out, find out a little bit more about what cystinosis is all about. But, you know, participate in it, see the launch of CARE, and, you know, make a donation if you want to help out kids like Gabby.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot. It's been great.
It's nice to meet you, Trevor.
Give her our best, please.
Absolutely.
We're back in just a moment. Stay with us. You know, what a great thing to do. That so many people in this area are able to find the silver linings. And for a couple like, you know, Trevor and his wife and a daughter who's battling cystinosis, you know, to turn that around and form this incredible and international or Canadian organization, you know, to try to get more funds out there and create more awareness.
And
Good
they're
on
working.
them.
Trevor was saying his wife now is with her or their daughter in Trenton doing the exact same thing. They're out there trying to beat the
Pounding
bushes
the pavement and
pounding the
find out
pavement.
more about it.
Yeah.
But if you want to find out more about cystinosis, just a reminder that June 27th, Saturday, June 27th, that's the day you can meet in Uptown Waterloo, that new square area that's there. They're going to have all the events on. Bring the entire family. Hopefully we have a weekend like we did this weekend.
yes.
What do they have? Games for kids, music, local bands will be playing to show that they care, and you can find out more about cystinosis, cystinosis awareness and research effort known as CARE, and that's coming up that Saturday. So get out there and support them. Yeah, she's a beautiful little girl.
She is, Trevor, good job. Good job, Trevor.